This is the foldable for section 8.6. I separated the section into two parts. One is the law of cosine and the law of sine that we're doing today. 8.6. And what we're looking at is triangles that are not right triangles, even though we could use these laws for right triangles. And it says if you know the measure of two angles and any side, you can calculate the other using the law of sine. So what is the law of sine? Is when you have the opposite side of the angle, we're going to call it A. The capital A corresponds with A because that's the side that it creates. So the opposite side of C would be the lowercase c. And the opposite side of B would be the lowercase b. So when we're talking about lowercase letters, we're talking about side lengths. And when we're talking about capital letters, we're talking about angle measures. So the ratio goes like this. A sine of A divided by A is equal to sine of B divided by B. And sine of C divided by lowercase c. So the angle corresponds with the side. Let's take a look at how to use it. Your problems will look like this. They'll give you two angles and one side. To get the third angle, all we have to do is subtract it from 180 because when you add them all together, they're supposed to equal 180. And so 180 minus 45 minus 72 is 63. From here to find sine A, remember A is the side opposite to the capital letter. So that means that B, the angle that is formed, is 72 and the side opposite is 12. Why does that matter? You're going to set it up as sine of 45, because that's your A, divided by A, because that's the side length we're looking for. And that's going to be equal to B, the angle B, so sine of 72, divided by the side, which it corresponds to, and it's 12. We're going to cross multiply. I have sine of 42 and 12, and we write it as 12. Sine of 42 is equal to
45.
45, thank you. 45 is equal to A sine of 72. We're looking for the A, remember, so we're going to have to divide by sine of 72 to both sides. And this is what you put in the calculator. I'm going to show you how to put it in the calculator, and I recommend that you do it with me just to make sure that you get the correct answer. Have 12 sine of 45. When you put that angle measure, make sure that you close the parentheses, otherwise you're not going to get the correct value.
Can you do that again?
No, you ain't gonna get up. Type 12 sine.
Or which one is sine?
So all I'm doing is writing the numerator 12 sine of 45. Make sure you close the parentheses, otherwise you'll get the wrong answer. And then divided by, and I'm sorry, it's supposed to be sine of 72 on both sides. So I'm going to divide by sine of 72 and just close your parentheses again. That means that the value of A is approximately 8.9. On your homework and on your test, please read the instructions of what decimal place I want you to round to. Let's try that again. For C, I'm looking for this right here, and that's why we had to find the measure of C first, so that's 63. The side opposite is the side C. So I know that the sine of 63 corresponds with the side C. And that's going to be equal to the sine of 72, which is that angle, and the side opposite, which is 12. We're going to cross multiply. C sine of 72 is equal to 12 sine of 63. Remember, what you're looking for is the variable C, so you have to divide by sine of 72 to both sides. C is approximately, let's try it again to put it in the calculator so you can see if you can get the correct answer. 12 sine of 63 this time. Make sure you close the parentheses. Divided by sine of 72 and close those parentheses again. And you should have 11.2. When they give you two angle measures, to get the third angle, we just subtract it from 180. So 180 minus 73 minus 41 is 66. Now I'm going to have to look for side F and side E. The angle is the one that tells you which side that is. So this is the angle F. That means that this is the side F. This is the angle E. So that means that this side is the side E. The law of sine says that you have this ratio where D, so the sine of 73, corresponds with the side opposite, which is 8. And that's going to be equal to, we're looking for F, so we have to use the sine of 41 divided by F, because that's the one that's opposite. We're going to have to cross multiply. F sine of 73 is equal to 8 sine of 41. You're looking for the F's, and that's why we have to divide by sine of 73 to both sides. F is equal to all of this. Put it in our calculator together. 8 sine, and it opens the parentheses, 41, so we have to close that parentheses, divided by sine of 73, close those parentheses again. And you have approximately 5.5. So let me change my symbol to approximately. Okay, let's try E. We know the angle E is 66 because that's what we solved for first. So we can write sine of 66 corresponds with E, the opposite side. And that's going to be equal to, I'm still going to use D, so you can use the same ratio over and over again. Sine of 73, don't forget the angle is the one that goes with that trig function, divided by the side opposite. We're going to cross multiply. I have 8 sine of 66 is equal to E sine of 73. E is what you're looking for, so we got to divide by sine of 73 to both sides. Let's put that in the calculator. 8 sine of 66, close those parentheses, divided by sine of 73, close those parentheses. You get 7.7. No, 7.6. 7.6 is the approximate value of E. All right, on the next one, it says the law of sines finding angles. If you know the measure of two sides and one opposite angle, you can calculate the other angles using the law of sines. Well, the law of sines are still the same. A corresponds with the side A. The angle B corresponds with the side B. And angle C corresponds with the side C that are created by the opposite side. So this angle creates this side right here. Sine of A divided by lowercase a. So the angle sine of B corresponds with the opposite side B. And then sine of C corresponds with the opposite side lowercase c. So what do these look like? What these look like is that you only have one angle on the inside, so we can't get another angle. We're going to have to solve for the angle. How you solve for the angle is very similar. It says to find angle B, that's this capital letter right here. So we're going to write sine of B divided by 12 is equal to, and we're given A. So sine of 53 divided by 9. We're going to cross multiply. 12 sine of 53 is equal to 9 sine of B. We're looking for sine of B. We cannot separate those, so we're only dividing by 9. And this is where most students get confused, so put a little star on it. That we're only solving for sine of B. So we have 12 sine of 53 divided by 9 is equal to sine of B. We're looking for the angle. That means that we have to use the inverse of B. The inverse is going to give us the approximation of that angle measure. So on this side, we put 12 sine of 53 divided by 9. This is another one that's very important that we try to put it in the calculator together. If you don't close those parentheses, you're going to get the wrong answer. So please try it with me. So second sine, and we have 12 sine of 53. I want you to notice that you have an open parentheses for that 53. So you have to close that parentheses for the 53, then divide by 9. Oh, and this won't work. That ratio is wrong. I'm sorry. Let's try 10. So we have to change all of these 9s to 10. So I just wrote down the wrong value. It wasn't going to work with that 9. So we're changing all of these to 10. So it can actually work. What happened is that that side was too small for that ratio to be correct. It means it wasn't possible to make this triangle. Anyways, so then we're going to divide by 10 and close the parentheses for the inverse. And you should have gotten that it's going to be approximately 73.4. Now that you got an angle measure, we can find the other angle. This was angle B, 73.4. So to find C, we can still subtract from 180. So 180 minus 53 minus 73.4. 53.6 is the measure of angle C. 53.6. Why does that matter? To set up the ratio so we know that the side C, we have to say that the sine of 53.6 divided by C is equal to, and we're going to still use A, sine of 53 divided by 10. Cross multiply. I have 10 sine of 53.6 is equal to C sine of 53. We're going to divide by sine of 53 to both sides. Oops, I keep forgetting the trig function, sine of 53. And that's what we're putting in the calculator to get the approximate value of C. So 10 sine of 53.6, close those parentheses, divided by sine of 53, close those parentheses again. And we got 10.1 is the approximate value of C. Okay, let's try that again. It's asking us to find F. We could have found D in the same manner, so I'll do that this time just to show you that we could have solved for any of those. We have, well, we need D, so never mind, we got to find F. Why did I choose that? Because we have the opposite side, and here we don't have the opposite side, nor the angle, and we can't find D yet. So this would be sine of 88 divided by 20 is equal to, then I can find F because I have the opposite side, sine of F divided by 15. Cross multiply. 20 sine of F is equal to 15 sine of 88. We're going to divide by 20, just 20, because that sine of F is stuck together. So we got to divide by 20 on this side. That means that we have 15 sine of 88 divided by 20. We're looking for an angle, so we have to do the inverse of that sine. So the sine inverse of 15 sine of 88 divided by 20. Put that in the calculator. That's the approximate value. So the inverse of sine, 15 sine of 88, close those parentheses, divided by 20 is equal to 48.6. Is the approximate value of F. So I'm going to write it on the angle because that's what it is, 48.6. Now to get this angle right here, what we're going to do is subtract it from 180, so 180 minus 88 minus 48.6 gives you 43.4. That gives me D, 43.4. That means I can solve for the side D now. Sine of 43.4 divided by D is equal to, I'm going to keep using E, sine of 88 divided by 20. Cross multiply. D sine of 88 is equal to 20 sine of 43, sorry. 43.4. Then we divide by sine of 88. D is approximately 20 sine of 43.4, close those parentheses, divided by sine of 88. 13.8 is the approximate value of t.